actually.
It tastes like pet.
Oh, it's so cute.
Oh my god.
Hello and welcome to Adam and Craig Do Stuff. Britain's fastest growing animal park has just grown even more. Cheetah Territory is open and we are doing Yorkshire Wildlife Park.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
So if you're a regular viewer of the channel, you know how much we love this place. It's easily one of the best animal parks in the country, and I think there's a good argument for it being the best, to be quite honest. And you know we don't say that kind of thing lightly. We're here today because they've opened the new cheetah exhibit, which is very, very exciting. They've got one cheetah in here at the moment, who's called Darcy.
Yeah, she's a 4-year-old cheetah that has come from Ireland. A zoo called Fota or Fota. Not quite sure of the pronunciation. It's F-O-T-A.
Oh, right, okay. And then the other one is still not here yet.
No, that's Brooke. That's a 13-year-old male, and that's coming from Bristol.
Ah, stuck on the motorway, I think. But obviously they've got one here, so we're going to go see the cheetah. I believe it's near the red pandas, we believe, don't we?
Yes, on the map. It was just past the red pandas before the gliders.
And obviously, considering the calibre of the enclosures that they normally build here, we're going to get such good views of the cheetahs here, much better than anywhere I think that we've been in the UK. Where does have cheetahs at the moment in the UK? I know West Midlands does.
West Midlands do, yeah.
But unless you're staying in the lodges, you don't get a great view of the cheetahs on the drive-through, do you?
No, you don't actually. Oh, I can see the sign actually now.
It's just ahead of us, can you see? Oh, it's quite small on camera.
So actually, it looks as though the path to it is before the red pandas.
Yeah, so if you look, we're just coming past. You can probably hear the sea lions. Oh, it's so cute. We're just coming past the sea lions there, Point Lobus. And so you would normally go this way. So sea lions, you would normally go down here to the Himalaya Pass, but if you go straight on, you'll see the cheetahs.
So they have got, at the minute, 3 reserves for the cheetahs. So I would assume that means that they're going to get more cheetahs eventually. Oh, we see it already.
You see it already?
Yes.
She's so lucky because cheetahs are not always the easiest thing to see. And she's literally don't you dare go in that house as we're coming up to you, I swear to God.
She just hopped off a rock that she was sort of like camouflaged into. And we only saw her because she jumped into the green grass.
We've just reached the cheetah enclosure. You can see, where's she gone? Hang on. There you are. There's a cheetah. And so we're just here, look, you can see this behind me here is the red panda over there, and then this is the otters and the binturong, so we're just behind that on a bit of previously unused land. I think there's another sort of enclosure up there, but we'll check that out as we go a bit further up. Obviously all the photographers are here, always are with their massive lenses. Look how open this is. I absolutely love the way they build the enclosures here, because you can just look how well you can see there. There's no fence in the way, there's no glass, it's just amazing. So it turns out Brooke is not stuck on the motorway. Brooke is actually in the second enclosure here. So this is where Darcy currently is, over here. And Brooke, the male, is in this enclosure. However, he is not on view to the public at the moment.
Not yet.
So I'm assuming he's only just arrived very recently. So he's currently in his house. I've got a feeling though, I mean, she keeps sitting at this fence between the two, doesn't she? So I don't know if she
so
knows
she
he's...
can sense that
I've got a feeling,
here.
yeah, she can smell him, or she knows he's in there to some degree, I think.
I imagine they'll release him eventually into here, but keep her there so they can see each other through the fence and get to know each other before they put them together.
Yeah, get them used to like smelling each other through the fence before they connect them. And then on the other side of Darcy, there's another slightly smaller enclosure that's got another cave and some more grass. But there's only 2 houses, so I'm assuming it's going to stay that way. And obviously it's 2 separate enclosures, so they can separate them in the future as well whenever they need to. So I'm assuming with them being 1 male and 1 female, they're hoping they'll be a breeding pair.
Well, it did say on the website that they're here as part of the European breeding programme, so I imagine. So
we might have cheetah cubs here at some point in the future, which would be...
they have recently just had leopard cubs.
Have they?
They have, yeah, leopard cubs. I mean, I doubt we'll see the leopard cubs because the leopards are very...
Honestly, trying to see the leopards here is a nightmare.
Yeah.
The most elusive creature.
They're very elusive.
I think we did one vlog, we managed to get a really good view of it walking down the platform, but normally, like, it's really hard to get a view of the leopards, so if we see it, we see it. Now, new to us since we were last here as well is the Amazonas area, which if you don't know is a revamp of the old South American beaver. So I believe that capybara, agouti and mara are still in there.
They're still in there, they're still on the map anyway.
And they've added red TT,
monkey, silvery marmoset, is it?
Something like that. We'll give you a more accurate rendition when we get there. We've seen the sign, because I can't quite remember. But yeah, they've added some small primates to there now. I don't know if the Saki monkeys are still in there. But yeah, they've had a revamp to that. So we're going to go and check that out next, because we haven't been here since they revamped it. So here we are in the new Amazonas exhibit.
It's the first time we've been in since they've rethemed it, and it looks really good actually.
Yeah, we're starting to get a little bit of theming sneaking into Yorkshire Wildlife Park here, aren't we? They've redone the entrance, so they've got some new sort of, I don't know if you call it rock work, because it's like a fake wall, isn't it? But it's obviously supposed to be South American inspired. And
there's new little huts and stuff for the animals.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the huts are in the same place they were before.
Yeah,
well, this one is anyway. But they've made it look all sort of South American, sort of like desertal.
And they've redone the path as well, haven't they? Redone the pathways.
Yeah. Oh,
and it's
I can
also
see.
Oh, a golden
lion tamarin. Oh, there's one here as well. Look.
Oh,
hello.
Can you hear its little noise?
Hello, sweet angel. Oh, that's beautiful. It's so cute. And then they've got this new house here, which I think that's
and
the
just
silvery...
silvery macaque. Not macaque, sorry. Silvery
Marmoset.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've got a couple of new houses in here. We haven't seen the capybara yet, and then obviously all of this was already here for South American beavers. I mean, I must say though, like it looks like there's more trees. Like this bit wasn't this foresty before. I'm sure it wasn't. We've got videos of it because the
in fact there's like metal around it, so maybe they are new.
The agouti. Oh, I can see the agouti.
See the agouti?
Yeah, I can see it down there.
Oh.
The agouti were always sort of hanging out in this area, weren't they? And the mara always were either here or they were sort of round on this bit of grass that's now the new hut. I don't know what I was going to say after that, but you kept cutting me out of the video. I definitely feel like there's more trees over here than there used to be. We've got a little golden tamarin.
Golden tamarin running
here, look. So what else have they got? The silvery marmoset, they've got the red TT. I'm sure there were 4.
No, I think was
there only 3?
I think there's only just 3 new ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they've still got the Saki monkey. They haven't said anything about not having the Saki monkey.
No, but I'm not sure in terms of like animals getting on. I don't know. Although they've got a exhibit at Chessington, haven't they? That's sort of a walk-through monkey enclosure. That's got Saki monkey with others. That's got golden-headed lion tamarin, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So maybe they do get on. I don't know.
There's an agouti.
Oh yeah. Hello. Oh my god. That's amazing as well, because there's one here as well, because I don't know anywhere else that you can walk through a gouty enclosure. I mean, they're not even something you come across very often, are they? They're not an extremely common animal in zoos. So to be able to walk through them, not through them, but through an enclosure with them in, is absolutely amazing. And capybara, I don't know anywhere else where you can walk through a capybara enclosure either. I don't know where they are.
You are right, there definitely is a lot more trees here than there used to be.
Yeah, it's a lot more bushy, and I think
this used to be quite open, didn't it? 'Cause that's where capybaras used to often chill.
And they've got all the fences around them as well to let them grow, so I'm assuming they've bought them in. But yeah, no, I don't know where the capybara are at the moment, can't see them. We're also always intrigued, aren't we, here, because the capybara at Yorkshire are surprisingly ginger. Like, we've never seen that, and I don't think they're a subspecies of capybara, although we've tried to look it up. And I'm sure a capybara is a capybara, but the ones here are like a really sort of gingery, rusty sort of colour, aren't they? Whereas a lot of capybara you see are just more of a sort of dark blonde, aren't they? Sort of a brown colour.
And this is good. They've got this bit here that we've just come into to
this
educate
is
you
really
about illegal
cool.
logging.
But like, it's not just a couple of signs. Like, they've got big pile of logs there, and they've got
fallen trees everywhere. Here.
Fallen trees. Yeah. They've got a hard hat on one of them, and there's some anti-logging signs as well. They've also got two. They've got one near the entrance, and then one here. These extra little paths where you can walk around. It's really nice. This really nice.
Yeah.
Sort of combining what Yorkshire have always done by creating open enclosures with really good views, but sort of adding a little bit of theming in there with it, and it's stunning. It's a really nice enclosure, and we've got coming up here. We'll probably get some better views as we come round, but they've sort of painted all the huts and the fences in different colours. I see the capybara. Here they are. Look. I just absolutely love these creatures. They're just. Oh, they're just amazing. They're so laid back, they're so chilled, they're just absolutely incredible. They're so cute.
They are cute.
And so unique as well. I just amazing. And they are starting, to be fair, they are starting to get their fame, aren't they? They're having a bit of a meerkat moment, like people are starting to become aware of capybara, and they deserve it because they're just so cool. I love them so much. But can you see, I'll do a closer up shot of them, but can you see how ginger those capybaras are? Like, I've never seen capybaras that colour anywhere else, have you?
No.
And I'm obsessed, I love them.
And we did ask Keeper last time why they're so ginger, and they didn't really know, did they?
No. But you can't know everything, can you? It's like when we were at Peak, we asked why you see so many albino wallabies, because you see a lot of albino wallabies, don't you?
They've got them here as well.
And no. In pretty much every wallaby walkthrough you see, there's always at least one albino, isn't there? So we were asking if they know why it's so common for them to become albino compared to other animals, but they didn't know. But you can't know everything, as I say. But yeah, if anyone knows why they're so ginger, let us know, because I love them. Oh, there really is no stopping this place. I mean, South America Viva was already one of our favourite animal enclosures, wasn't it? Anywhere, not even just here, like anywhere. But the upgrades to that are just absolutely fantastic. It looks amazing. The little bit of extra theming that they've put in there, the way they've painted everything, the new entrance.
And they've even got little QR codes that you can scan on your way around. And gives you facts and stuff and videos to watch. And,
little mission thing, wasn't there, that Adam was doing?
Yeah.
And the addition of the new monkeys is absolutely fantastic.
We did find out they have got rid of the what was it before, the Saki monkey. The Saki monkey, yeah.
Saki monkey's no longer there.
The Saki monkey. Well, we didn't see them, and they're no longer on the map or the app. So, and there was no sign for them either.
So we're assuming they've gone.
There is still a sign for the Mara, and they are still on the app, but we couldn't see them anywhere.
We couldn't see any, and I mean,
at the minute.
If you've been before, you know they had loads of Mara before. They had absolutely tons of them, but we didn't see a single one, did we? So I don't know where they are at the minute. I don't know whether they've not been moved back yet or whether they're just hiding. But I mean, they had loads, didn't they? They had tons of them, and you couldn't miss them before. But
no,
we didn't see a single one this time, so I don't know. But yeah, they did, when they refurbed South America Viva into Amazonas, they moved the capybara, the Mara and the agouti to temporary enclosure right over by the hotel, I think. So
yeah, while they built all the new huts and stuff.
Whether they've not moved the Mara back yet for some reason, or whether they're just in there and they're hiding, I don't know. But I mean, we couldn't see a single one, could we? And they were literally littered with, it was littered with them before, wasn't it? Oh, God knows where they are.
Could never go. Oh, but they did seem to have more agouti than before. I don't know if they had more, or if they just seemed to be more active than we normally see them.
Yeah, they were the hardest to spot before, weren't they? The agouti.
We saw loads of them this time.
Saki monkey were always out. Capybara were always there somewhere. Not really moving a lot, as capybaras don't, but they were always there somewhere.
Yeah.
But gouti were often a lot more hidden, whereas they're really active this morning. We might have just been lucky, who knows.
And we did see the red titi monkey, but they was inside their hut, but it was quite far at the back, so you couldn't really see them very well. So
we haven't got any shots of that yet.
No.
If you've already seen the titi monkey in the vlog, then it's because we came back later and we got shots. There you go. But we got some good views of the golden lion tamarins, didn't we?
And the silvery marmoset.
Yeah, at one point I was trying to focus my camera on a silvery marmoset, and it turned out to be a bloody squirrel. So yeah, they've got squirrels in there as well.
Over at Project Polar 1 now. This used to be England's only collection of polar bear, until recently a lovely little park called Peak Wildlife I've just had some polar bears added to their collection. Now, as much as Peak is a lovely place, I do think this one does slightly have the upper hand when it comes to their polar bear enclosures. Not to say the one at Peak is bad, because it's not at all. It is lovely. This one just has got that. The one
at Peak is pretty amazing for what the park actually is, isn't it? And it's very similar to
very
this.
Similar.
But one thing I've noticed coming back here now is obviously this has been here longer, so it's grown a lot more.
Yeah.
Whereas the one at Peak, all the plants are obviously still new, so they're not. It's not as bushy. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. It's not as green, is it? It's still all the trees are still quite young, and they're still need to grow. But I mean, it's definitely got potential to look similar to this. But yeah, I mean, this is huge.
This is huge.
It's
got 10. This is just Project Polar 1. It's got 10 acres. 10 acres with 3 different enclosures across those 3 acres that the polar bears can get into either enclosure whenever they feel. And then they've also got a Project Polar 2 at the other side of the park. Currently there's just 3 polar bears in there, a mother and two younger ones.
Didn't they move the 2 younger ones?
Did they? Oh, they might have done.
Them to here, so is there now?
Well, there was 4 here already. Maybe they've moved one of them in here.
I can't remember. I thought that the cubs had been moved in here, but I could be making that up. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, I mean, this space here, I've got a huge space over here with a massive lake. Yeah,
that's the biggest lake that they've got.
And then they've got the another one on that side, which has usually got a canoe in it.
She's got a canoe which you usually see playing with.
No traffic cones here. The ones at Pete were playing with traffic cones all day, and they seemed to love them, didn't they?
I mean, we did see one of them in here juggling with like a log or something.
Oh, there's 2 in this one. There's one down here by the fence. And then it's hard to spot, but there's one just in the water that keeps bobbing its head up.
Yeah.
You might be able to see it there. I think there's some kind of plastic barrel or something it's playing with.
Playing with something.
Who knew polar bears were so easily amused, eh?
One thing actually I say about this park, and when we went to Peak, the polar bears always usually seem to be pretty active, don't they? Which is cool to see.
They're usually out. They're usually in the water. They seem to move about a lot. So yeah, they're a good animal to come and see.
we've seen 6 polar bears in Project Polar 1, so they must have moved at least 2 of the...
We'll have to go over to Project Polar 2 and see
and
how
see if
many
there's anything
are left
there.
But I'm sure I saw a post from them at some point where they said they were moving 2 from Project Polar 2 into Project Polar 1. So that must, I'm assuming that's where they've come from, because there's definitely 6. There's one over in that enclosure, there's 2 in the water in that first one you come to, and then there's 3 in this one.
3 in here, yeah.
One of them's just gone inside, but there's one walking down there, and then there's one in the cave.
One in the cave, I'm asleep.
So assuming that they've still got Project Polar 2, because let's be honest, Yorkshire Wildlife aren't great at announcing things they're doing, are they? So assuming that there's still polar bears up at Project Polar 2, that must mean then 7?
Yeah.
So we went and checked out Project Polar 2, and they've still got 2 bears there, haven't they?
Yeah, they have still got 2 bears, so there must be 8 at least, because we saw 6 in Project Polar 1, and then 2 in Project Polar 2. It was very busy at Project Polar 2, so we didn't do any talking there.
So I'm not sure, I don't know whether they moved the mum across to Project Polar 1 or where this other bear has come from, because they had 4, they lost 1.
And lost 1, and then gained
another one, and then they moved 3 into Project Polar 2, didn't they?
Yeah, and they were 3 new ones that came to the park.
But that's 7, and they've now got 8. So
yeah.
I don't know where the other ones come from, and we obviously missed the update on that one. But yeah, they've got 8 bears now. And the Project Polar 2 is very much what they've built at Peak Wildlife Park is very much akin to Project Polar 2, isn't it? Very, very nice enclosure. Then we've come over to the Atlantic Forest. We talked earlier about the maras because they're still not back in Amazonas yet, and I don't know if you can see right through these trees here.
There's some temporary huts.
You can just about see here. There's 2 little huts, and there's a big patch of grass there.
That was a temporary enclosure for the capybaras and the maras while they was building the Amazonia area.
And we can see. I've tried to zoom as much as possible, but it's very far away, so bear with me. But you can see that the mara are still over there, and they've still got loads of them. So I'm pretty sure they've still got all the ones they used to have. Interesting that they're still over there. I don't know whether there's a reason that they've not moved back into Amazonas yet. We're assuming they're going back in there because they've got a sign for them, haven't they?
Yeah, and they're still on the map.
Still on the map.
There.
Still got a sign for them.
Speaking of animals on the map, they've no longer got bush dog on the map. We've not seen the bush dog, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Heard rumours online that they've been moved to a different zoo. So I don't know if they're going to get more bush dogs because they've still got a sign for them. So I don't know if we're going to get more bush dogs or if they're just going to put something different in there.
I mean, I wouldn't imagine they'd have got rid of the bush dogs if they're going to get more bush dogs. So I would have thought that that's going to become something else. But the sign's still here. Yeah. Obviously, we know what Yorkshire Wildlife Park's like. They won't announce it until literally they've got them here, will they? No. We'll see the signs going up in the construction updates online before we actually find out what's going on with this enclosure. But interesting because it's obviously themed to Atlantic Forest.
Yeah, so it only makes sense to get something that's from that area of the world, wouldn't it really?
Although we've seen in other zoos, haven't we, they have themed areas, and that Chessington's a great example of this, where they have a themed area and then as obviously plans change, animals naturally move on and new animals come in, and you end up with a theme that doesn't really fit anymore because the animals are from all different areas of the world. Hence the raccoons in the Amazon part of Chessington.
And we did see the leopards, but we didn't see the baby. But we have seen...
So one leopard.
Yeah, one leopard. But we have seen baby sea lion.
Two of the adults are separated off with the pups out there, away from the main bit, in the sort of second pool round the corner. So we're assuming that they're the two adults for the pups.
Yeah.
And they're keeping them in there, obviously, until the pups are old enough to go into the main enclosure. So no leopard cubs yet, but we have seen the Sealion Pups, which is a bonus, and at least we found Amara. I don't know whether they're ever going to go back on show, but we know where they are now. They're over there. So I was wrong when I said that they wouldn't remove bush dogs just to bring in more bush dogs. There was a sign here saying that they've moved these on so that they can get a new breeding pair, which is unusual, isn't it? Because normally you get, with bush dogs, there's loads of them, isn't there? You get a huge herd of them.
I'm sure when we did the feeding, she did say, I'm sure she told us that there was all male.
Oh, were they?
I think that's what she told us, yeah.
So yeah, they'll get they're getting a breeding pair in here, and then hopefully that means we can see bush dog pups in the future.
Yeah,
I don't know if we've ever seen bush dog pups.
I don't think we have, no.
Bush dog, oh, the more I say it, the more difficult it's becoming to say. But that would be awesome if we managed to come next time and there were bush dog pups. Doesn't say, I don't think. No, it doesn't say when they're due to be here. But it's nice because I love the bush dogs, so I'm glad they're not going. And it might be babies in the future. Rude to come to Yorkshire Wildlife Park in the summer and not take the opportunity to get a Dole Whip. Although it's not technically Dole Whip, is it? It's some sort of pineapple swirl whip, I think it's called. No, it's not official Dole Whip, but I don't think it tastes any different, really, do you?
No.
Only one of two places I think I know in the UK that you can get it. The other one being Chester Zoo, but Chester Zoo do the raspberry as well, don't they?
They do raspberry and pineapple.
Yeah, so you can get pineapple and raspberry combined, and that is a game changer. That's a bonus, that is. Staff member was telling us how hungover she is, a little bit inappropriate. I didn't really know what to say to that, but so I just ignored her. I was a bit disappointed by that today, if I'm honest. It tasted like petrol. Not great, was it?
No, I mean, I wouldn't say it tasted like petrol. I mean, it tasted a bit funky.
Mine did. Mine was not great. It tasted like some sort of cleaning fluid. I don't know if that's because it's not proper Dole Whip, but then we've had it before and it hasn't been that like that, has it?
No.
That wasn't great today. That was not great. That was disappointing. Gonna go change my palate. So we've just finished where we started in Cheetah Territory. Oh, what a beautiful exhibit that is, isn't it?
It really is, really is.
Really nice.
Huge exhibit.
Huge exhibit, really good views of the cheetah from several angles. It's a really nice enclosure, and of course when Brooke comes out and we can go see them in the other enclosure as well, it's going to be even nicer because I mean it's like 180 panoramic views, isn't it, really, of the cheetahs. They look amazing. Oh, we've seen Sealion Pups. We didn't see the cheetah cubs, did we? Cheetah cubs. Leopard cubs. Getting all the cats mixed up. We didn't see the leopard cubs. We got very small glimpses of the adult leopard, but they're so elusive here. They just don't like being on show, do they?
No, sorry, I didn't realise you were asking me a question.
Amazonas as well is a really nice upgrade to what was already a really fantastic enclosure. It looks fantastic, the theming's really nice, and of course it's still a really good walkthrough that's just got even better because we've got now the titi monkeys, the silvery marmosets and the golden lion tamarins as well. So what was already a really nice enclosure has just got even better, and it's one of the best walkthroughs in the country, I think. It'll be interesting to see in the future what happens with the Mara and if they get back in there.
Yeah, I think they will, because it still shows them as being on the map.
I imagine so.
And the sign for them is there. It's like a brand new sign as well.
So it'll be interesting to see when they go back in there. Can't wait for the possible chance of getting bush dog pups here as well.
This time of year, the opening hours are 9 AM till 6 PM. And we've found that coming at 9 AM, that first hour and a half is really good because it's quiet. So we
definitely recommend coming as early as possible because it was dead at 9 AM in here. straight up to the cheetahs. There was nobody, pretty much nobody there. There was only a couple of photographers with their massive lenses, as you always get here. But it was really, really quiet. And then now, I mean, there's barely anyone here.
Yeah.
I mean, they do start shutting the exhibits up quite early here, don't they?
Yeah,
like all
so
the walkthrough.
The walkthrough ones are closed an hour before, which is quite normal for a zoo, to be fair. But then, like, they were closed. There were things already shut off.
Himalaya
at 5
Pass
o'clock,
and
like,
cheetahs have been shut off, haven't they?
Yeah, and even like toilets were shut off an hour early, weren't they?
Yeah.
And we tried 2 that was already locked.
But I mean, from about like what 3 o'clock, it just really thins out.
There's start to go about 3.
Barely on here because midday it was really busy, wasn't it? It was
yeah.
like it was extreme. It was hellish.
From say 4 till 6, it's been really quiet, hasn't it?
So it's definitely a turn up early, make the most of it, and then stay late to make the most of the low crowds in the evening as well. We've also got plenty of Yorkshire Wildlife Park content on the channel as well, so go check that out. Indulge yourself, why don't you? Coming up into September, it'll be back to the theme parks, won't it? We've got some European parks coming up, we've got Oktoberfest coming up, and then of course it's into Halloween. So Adam, what do you need to do?
You need to comment and like if you've enjoyed this video, subscribe to see all of that's coming up, and we'll see you next time we do stuff.